It's lunchtime, and this is Brad Anderson's Lunch Break. I get invited to attend tech events all the time in Las Vegas, and whenever I can, I like to make the quick trip from Redmond and meet with other tech leaders and learn about what they're doing. Today on Brad Anderson's Lunch Break, I'm joined by the tech all-star Jeffrey Snover. Jeffrey's a technical fellow and the proud father of PowerShell. You ever been on vacation somewhere, you know, and someone finds out, oh, this is Jeffrey who created PowerShell?
So, yes.
Okay, so what's that like?
So a few years ago, my wife and I sent the kids off to summer camp, and we decided, hey, let's have a break from it all. We went to this like really remote bed and breakfast, you know, at the end of a dirt road. They had only 3 rooms, right? And then in the morning, we get together and the 3
have the breakfast, yeah.
And have the breakfast. And the first guy, I'm a professor from California here for a wedding. Next guy, I'm a state IT guy. My specialty is scripting. I said, scripting? Oh, well, tell me about that. And the guy launches into this long, like, there's this thing called PowerShell, and I'm the state expert at that, and I do this and this. And then his wife gets into it. Oh, Josh is so amazing, and he helps all of his people, and he's the rock star of the state. He's just wonderful. And this goes on and on for like 10 or 15 minutes. At some point, the guy kind of catches himself. He's like, I just keep going on. I get so excited. So,
and what do you do?
And so I told him, I work for Microsoft, I invented PowerShell. And there was this this kind of scowl of disbelief on his face, and then some awkward moment, and then we just moved on and talked about what they were going to do for the day. And a couple minutes later, he's like, there's this like flash of insight. He's like, wait a second, are you Jeffrey Snover?
Awesome story. Okay, you've been at Microsoft a long time. How many years now?
17 years.
Okay, so think back on your 17 years. Mm-hmm. What would be like the missed opportunity you think back and you go like, man, I should have done that?
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Microsoft is this amazing company, truly is, right? We are the company that put a desktop
in every home and on every desk.
And on every desk, right. And then what we did was we said, hey, we're going to take that and we're going to be the enterprise server company.
Yeah.
And I remember being outside of Microsoft at the time thinking, there's no way that's going to happen. But the reality is Microsoft has the business assets, it's got world-class talent, and it has this culture of being like really like a dog with the bone.
Persistent,
tenacious.
Exactly.
Just go do the right thing, and self-critical. We look at our flaws, we face them with courage, and we address them. And we became like the leading vendor of enterprise software, so amazing. But when it came to mobility, we failed there. We failed there. And the reality is I think that as a leadership team, me, you, as a leadership team, we underestimated the amount of commitment required and the amount of sacrifice required to succeed with that marketplace. So that was a miss. But again, because we're such a great company, we learned from that lesson. And then when it came to the cloud, we said, never again. We are all in. We are going to make the commitments. We're going to take whatever sacrifices to succeed at the cloud. And, under the great leadership of Satya, there is no one that has any confusion about our commitment to the cloud.
Yep.
None.
Okay, so when you meet with customers, what's like the 1 or 2 things that you hear that you go like, man, we've solved that with the cloud, or what we're doing with, our productivity and mobility, we've solved that. How do we help you understand that we can actually solve this problem for you? What do you hear?
Well, there's a whole bunch of that stuff around agility. And what I find is that a lot of people are still on, they'll complain about something. It's like, well, tell me about that. What are you running? And they say, I'm running on 2003. Like, oh, good heavens, or 2008. So I think, people are kind of stuck in a way of doing things that if they kept up to date, a bunch of those problems would be gone, right? So that's cost, that's efficiency, energy savings. Oh, storage, good heavens. Boy, if we solve the storage problem. If you're still buying really expensive, if a large portion of your budget's still being spent on storage, you need to take a look at our new stack. storage space is direct. Oh my heavens. Oh, you know, I think a lot of people get this exactly wrong. You know, they think that, oh, to be safe and secure, I've got to run things on, I got to keep hold of them. And this is really analogous to the, 100+ years ago when people thought, well, the way I have to keep my money safe is to put it underneath my mattress because banks get robbed all the time. And no one would do that today.
Thank you so much.
This is great.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Cheers. Have a great convention.
Yeah. Next time on Brad Anderson's Lunch Break, I heard a great story about when you got in a big disagreement with Bill.
Which one?
I've written a review of a laptop. Somebody comes and says, hey, I bought that laptop. It cost $1,800. You are an idiot.
I don't think IT is something that you can just show up because you play Xbox and do well at. I think you have to be clever.